Hey guys, Marsengin here, bringing you another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video, and so today we are jumping in for the new stage of Extreme Super Battle Road, which is the Wicked Bloodline stage. Now, this one is very interesting. I did the team building guide for this the other day. Obviously, this stage came out on JP a couple of weeks ago and has now dropped on Global much sooner than expected, what with the way the schedule for these kind of things works now. So very unusual for us to get a new stage this soon after JP. So I am going to go ahead and just do a very normal with items run for this stage because I wanted to get a video up for it. I have tried out some different builds for some attempts at the no item run, but it is definitely going to be very, very difficult on this stage. There are a lot of units who just do not do well defensively in this stage. Even Tech Golden Frieza takes quite a reasonable amount of damage from attacks, especially super attacks. So there are some units that you would potentially consider to be like quite high-end Wicked Bloodline units that are just not good on this stage. Tech Transforming Frieza gets absolutely ripped to shreds in this stage. Even after double supering, he takes like 80k or more from type neutral. If he super attacks once with no item active, King Vegeta will still do 200k damage to him. I got a screenshot of this earlier because I did tweet out earlier the fact that I definitely think with the way difficult content has matured over time, I feel like Goku is definitely the better of the two, whereas when they got their Easy A, I think most people were high on Frieza being the better of the two. Of course, damage reduction is definitely better than healing at the start of the turn, in my opinion, because for me, that opinion first started to shift when I was trying to do the movie bosses ESBR no item run, and it was in that stage I noticed that like that team does not have a lot of units that can give you the heals, which obviously in no item runs is really important, right? Like any stage where you can use int cell, that full heal can be super beneficial to you, right? But movie bosses doesn't really have anyone like that, apart from Transforming Frieza, who heals at the start of the turn. So I did attempt to use him on that team build, and yeah, he just gets absolutely destroyed. And the same thing is true in this stage. Now, obviously, with items, you know, you can make it work, right? Because his defense after supering is definitely not terrible. So if he had a Whis up, like, his tanking will be reasonable, and then that heal is obviously going to be very, very useful. But even units like this third form Frieza are in the same kind of boat. In one of the first no item attempts that I did, I brought this guy on the team. I actually got the turn where he quadruple super attacked, and then he still got hit by Bardock for like 75k or something, because there was no support on the rotation. A lot of these units, once you start giving them a little bit of support, they actually are able to tank way better. Units like the Golden Friezas, who obviously have damage reduction, once you start throwing some support into the mix, they actually start to take a lot less damage. So obviously here we have no item active now. We don't have the support memory buff active. Fortunately, super attacked AGL Golden Frieza, so that works out perfectly, and we can get through this first fight without having to use another item, because we should, unless we get unlucky here and don't get the additional super, I think we should finish him off. LR Prime Battle Frieza at the end might finish him. No, okay. Oh, he actually did survive with the tiny sliver of health, but we get the additional super attack anyway. So, full power Frieza. Mine is only 55%. After getting his 18-key super, which raises his defense, without an item active, he can still take like 100k from normal attacks. And if the enemy is Tech, well, you're in for a time. So, there's 2 Tech enemies in the next fight. With the team build that I have been trying out, which is slightly different to this one, I have gotten to only having 1 enemy left in this second fight, but it really does require you to get like godly levels of RNG, which of course a lot of the no item runs end up being like that, to be honest. Let's actually just try and take Nappa out completely here. We used a mouse item last turn, so I'm gonna go ahead and pop a Whis here, and then we bring this Frieza on the team, the Namek Frieza. As long as there's a Goku family enemy, he guards, has damage reduction and supports, and every single fight has a Goku family enemy. So obviously that is super beneficial for this run. But even he, like, again, with no items active, he's still taking like 20k from normal attacks if there's no other support on the rotation. So a super is still hitting him for like 100k. So he still takes a lot of damage. So the no item run potentially is going to be doable. I'm going to try more attempts over the next few days, but for me personally, I've kind of gotten to the point now where if it's one of those runs where it can be done, if you get the God RNG after sitting and trying it for like 4 hours straight, I can't be bothered to do those ones anymore. You guys will remember, if you've been around the channel for a while, the story of the movie bosses normal Super Battle Road that I've told many times before. On Global, obviously we did not have the release of STR Cooler yet. I managed to beat movie bosses. I was the first person on Global to do the no item run, and I did it with double Turles, which was really difficult because even back then, like, he was outdated for Super Battle Road in terms of no items. And I've told this story before. 3 afternoons in a row, I sat and recorded for 4 hours, and at the end of the 3rd afternoon, I managed to do it. So it took me like over 12 hours, over 3 days, to get that run done. And unfortunately nowadays I just don't have the kind of time to be doing stuff like that anymore. So I will try some more attempts on it, but I don't know if I really can be bothered to sit and try for hours and hours on end to actually be able to get it done at the moment. I'm going to keep trying, but I wanted to get a normal run done so I could get a video put up for you guys. So obviously with items, with the team that we're running, I don't think this run is particularly difficult. So we should be laughing here because we've cleared out almost all the enemies in 2 turns. So we are looking real good. Right, we're back. Someone was at the door. He probably heard the doorbell. But we are smashing our way through this stage. So we are going to finish off Goku and Raditz here, and then move on to the last fight. I actually can't even remember who the last fight is against, because in all of the no item attempts I had earlier, I didn't get to the last fight. So I'm pretty sure it's Goku, Vegeta and Trunks. So obviously, again, every single fight has a Goku family enemy, and that's why that free-to-play in Namek Frieza is so good, because he gets his full passive active in every single fight, and he's a free-to-play option, so obviously everybody has the possibility of using him in this stage. And not only does he tank very well, he supports everybody else, and he lowers attack, which is obviously very useful in Super Battle Road. Those kind of abilities are super useful, obviously, when it comes to doing the no item runs, because that can make a huge amount of difference in the damage that you're going to take. Even things like sealing, stunning, obviously very important. There's not a lot of good Wicked Bloodline units that stun, unfortunately. So this is actually a really good setup here, because I don't need to use an item. But you'll see, actually, hopefully we do get super attacked on Golden Frieza here, because obviously we will survive, but you'll see what I'm talking about in terms of like how much damage he's going to take. Will we finish off Trunks with these 2 attacks? Because I would ideally like to attack lower Vegeta, although we do guard anyway, so I guess it doesn't matter, right? If Trunks doesn't die, obviously we would rather hit him with the attack lower, because he is attacking twice. But that's the great thing as well about that Namek Frieza, is because he's guarding and has damage reduction, you don't really have to prioritize who's attacking him in terms of like the type advantage or disadvantage, because he's basically going to take the same damage from everybody. There is a slight difference. I've noticed that you've probably noticed yourselves, but when a unit guards, enemies that have type advantage still do slightly more damage, and enemies that have type disadvantage do slightly less. So that is still a factor, but it doesn't make a huge amount of difference. And obviously any extra support on rotation really helps him out as well. I've noticed again in the no item attempts, he can go from taking like 20k from normal attacks to taking like 10 just by having a support unit on the rotation. And then obviously you combine that with like attack lowering, and then he's taking even less damage. So we can probably let's gang up on Vegeta a little bit here. Yeah, good, there's 4 orbs there, so I can get the 18 key super for Frieza. And then 3rd form Frieza should be able to take out Trunks here. I need to use an item. I guess we'll just use another Whis because we're right at the end. I mean, using this Whis should pretty much secure the win. Don't get the Dokkan attack. Perfect. So we're going to get rid of Trunks here. We're going to do a nice chunk of damage to Vegeta. And then at the start of the next turn, we're still going to have the Whis in play. It means we can just go ahead and put full power Frieza in slot 1, get the Dokkan attack with him, and then get the win. So obviously, a lot of the units on this team can't take a super attack at all without an item active. And the no item attempts on this really show how, like, the key weakness of the 2 golden Friezas. Obviously, Tech Golden Frieza is not as good as the AGL one in terms of his damage reduction, so he's not as good of a tank, especially with no items up. And of course, these units, whilst they have damage reduction, they don't have any kind of guard. So if you don't have an item active, Tech Golden Frieza, if he takes a super attack from, like, in King Vegeta in the first fight, he still takes like 120k or something crazy. And then, of course, the big problem with this setup is when you get to... Oh, actually, this is a good... We've got Big Bad Bosses and Legendary Power. Oh, yeah, perfect. And we still have the Whis up, so we shouldn't have any chance of dying here. So we'll make sure we actually get the Type Orbs, and then I guess we don't need to worry about you. So full power Frieza should get the... in fact, we're attacking Goku, so he should crit. He should get the guaranteed crit, right? Because we are attacking a Goku. So Goku should just get one shot by the Dokkan attack here. Whose full power Frieza is this? This is the friend. I think the friend one had 1 or 2 dupes. I definitely noticed when I was trying the attempts earlier, there's a lot of... there's a lack of full power Frieza friends available on the friends list, unfortunately. I think I found 1 rainbow one throughout the entire day, and then all of the others were like 1 or 2 dupes. And then, of course, it would be suggesting like Metal Cooler or Tech Transforming Frieza friends when it couldn't find any full power Friezas. And spoiler alert, both of them will get absolutely destroyed in a no item run. But there you go. With items, it's definitely not that difficult. I mean, I say that, obviously I have LR full power Frieza. If you don't, it will be a little bit more difficult. But mine is only 55%. And like I said, with no items active, he takes a lot of damage even after getting his 18 key super. So it's not the easiest stage in the world, but at the end of the day, like, as long as you have a stacked account like I do, like normal ESBR stages, if you're going to use items, and especially now support memories, they're not super difficult. So there you go. That is the Wicked Bloodline stage of Extreme Super Battle Road beaten. Like I said, I wanted to just get it done, get the mission completed, get a video up, and I will be working on the no item run. So let me know down below in the comment section, what team did you guys use to beat the stage? Obviously, if you use LR full power Frieza leads, you can't use any of the cooler units, so double STR coolers probably can make it through this, but you would probably have to have like defensive items up every time a cooler is on rotation. But obviously, once he transforms, he can start putting out a ton of damage. So let me know what teams you guys used down below in the comment section. So that is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Masked Ningen. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Check out the links down below for the Discord and the merch store, and I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.